Good day and welcome everyone, Stuart here from Northern Bolt & Tool, and today we're going to be looking at blowers. Now in our previous video you would have seen that we've got some testing equipment, so we're going to be both showing you how that testing equipment works as well as testing these blowers and showing you guys the features that they've got, their performance and how they compare to the specifications that Ingco claim. So with that guys, let's get into some unboxing here, show you guys what these blowers come with and how they work and their performance. So first of all, we're going to open up this small unit. This one is CABLI 20018. This particular unit comes in at around 450 Rand plus minus, and this is the unit only. There is a kit variant that comes with one 2 amp-hour battery, but for the purpose of this test, we have the tool only. So you unbox it, you take it out, you've got your little nozzle over here, you've got the machine itself and the instruction manual. So that's all it comes with, pretty basic. You slide this guy on over here, and you twist it on. There we go, it's locked in place. On the front here you've got a high and a low setting, but it also has a variable speed trigger. So when it's on low, you can only depress the trigger to that point. You can see I'll turn it on high at the same time and you'll see all of a sudden you can depress it further. So if I put it on high, and now it goes a little bit further. So that's how that trigger works. It is variable speed. Now the other unit, this unit here, in terms of boxing is exactly the same. This unit though does not have the variable speed trigger, it's just an on-off switch. Listen. So no variable speed on this particular unit, but in terms of packaging and how they come, they are identical. This one does come in a little bit cheaper than the one with the variable speed trigger. This unit comes in at 350 Rand, so 100 Rand less than the one with the variable speed. Is it worth going for this unit and saving 100 Rand as opposed to one with the variable speed trigger? We'll test that shortly and bring out some clarity on which one you should buy. Let's unbox the larger unit and see what that one comes with. Now we're going to be looking at this larger blower. This is more of a leaf blower. This particular unit is a tool only. It does come in a kit with a battery if you would like. This particular unit does not have a brushless motor, so it's a brushed motor, and it doesn't have a variable speed trigger either, so it's just an on-off switch type of trigger. With that said, that makes it a fairly basic tool, but this is how it looks when you take it out of the box. So you can hear the trigger, it's just on off. This is your nozzle over here. You obviously pull it up like so, and you can clip it on to the machine like so. Now this is the more basic unit, comes in at around 620 Rand. We do also have this unit here, which has variable speed. It also has this little button over here where you can set the speed and it holds the speed for you. Very, very nice. And this particular unit is also brushless. So we've got the dinosaur and we've got something that's in the 21st century over here. This particular unit though comes in at 1,620-ish Rand. So it's 1,000 Rand more expensive than this unit. Obviously these types of tools do use a lot of power. So having a brushless unit and a more efficient motor is preferable right off the bat before we even start anything. But let's check out their performance and let's see if there are more differences between them that can justify spending the extra 1,000 Rand on a unit like this over something like this. First test we're going to do is a decibel test. So this particular unit featured on our last video, one of the new products from Ingco. So this is the unit. We're going to obviously show you guys how it works. It's pretty basic. Very, very nice little tool. Now with these blister packs, I always advocate cutting along 3 edges and leaving one edge closed, so that you create a little bit of a case for the tool itself. So you can see, got it like a little bit of a protective case. When you finish using it, it goes back in here and it won't get damaged. I'm just going to put that down there. So you just simply press the button to turn it on. And as you can see, I'm speaking, the decibels are fluctuating. So I'm going to plug the battery in and let's see how loud this machine is. I'm going to hold it 30 centimeters away and see what the results are from both machines. Okay, we are good to go. I'm just going to put it on high. Okay, full speed, let's go. So as you saw there, it fluctuated between 95 to 96 decibels. Let me plug in the other one and let's see what that one gets. Alright guys, here with the machine with the non-variable speed trigger on or off, 30 centimeters away, full speed, let's go. So 96 Newton meters, very similar to the other unit. Let's get the larger units and see how they compare. Alright guys, we've set up this unit here. This is the one with the variable speed trigger. Let's put it on max and see how loud it is. 94 decibels, that's pretty good. Let's try the other one and see how they compare. Alright guys, next up, the non-variable speed trigger with the brushed motor. Let's see how loud it is. Plus minus 90 decibels, quite a lot quieter than the other one in terms of noise. Let's move on to the next test. Alright guys, next up we're going to be testing the airflow speed. Now Ingco doesn't give an air speed indication, it just gives RPM of the motor, which doesn't really help too much. So in terms of our testing, I'm going to hold this unit approximately 5 centimeters away from the nozzle. I know our testing might not be the most accurate or the best way of testing these tools, but we are going to keep variables the same for every unit to give you some sort of yardstick and benchmark to see which one has an advantage of the other, if any. So with that, let's get into it. I'm going to hold it on full over here and test it out. So turn the machine on and run velocity meters per second. What's cool about this particular unit, we haven't featured it before, but you can change the function that changes it to flow, so that'll be volume. And you're able to change the units as well, meters per second, feet per minute, knots, kilometers per hour. For the purposes of this testing, we're going to do meters per second as our units on this particular test. So this is the non-variable speed trigger. 3, 2, 1. You can see that it held steady at around 29.5 meters per second. Let's get the other machine and see how it does. We've got the unit with the variable speed trigger here. We've recharged our 4 amp hour battery. Let's see. So we've got about 29.8 plus minus. So very, very similar to the other units. Slightly faster, but very, very slight. That's the result. Let's get the larger units and see how they compare. Alright guys, for these larger blowers, I've enlisted the help of Editor John. We're going to be holding this unit 30 centimeters away from the tip of the unit, and we're going to see how fast it goes. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, so we got about 28.5 meters per second, 30 centimeters away from the nozzle. That means the speed at the nozzle is quite significantly faster because it obviously slows down as it comes through the machine here. Let's switch out the machines and let's see how the one with the brushless motor and variable speed trigger compares. We're all set up and ready to go with the other unit. Brushless motor, variable speed trigger, 3, 2, 1, let's go. And as you can see there guys, significantly more power. I could literally feel the amount of extra power, and it maxed out our machine. So incredible strength. This machine is way, way, way stronger than the brushed units. It's just something that I felt a pity we can't get an exact reading on that, but that is quite significantly more powerful. Alright guys, we're ready now for our runtime test. We've recharged 4 amp hour batteries. You can see it's a little bit ratchet, but we've taped everything down. Stay tuned to the bloopers reel at the end where you'll see what happens when we didn't do it like this in the first place. Yeah, things flying all over the place. With that said, let's get into it. I'm going to clip the batteries in and then I'm going to start the timer. So I think we're all good to go. Let's go for it. 3, 2, 1. And they're done. Both blowers ended at exactly the same time, these small ones. So that's quite amazing. Very surprised to see how close all three of these lasted and how much longer they lasted than the brushless unit. So we're going to go back, check out the timing, and then come to you guys with some results. Alright guys, so which one should you buy, which one should you look at? So looking at the results, let's start off with the smaller units. The one at the variable speed offers a little bit more versatility in terms of being able to vary the speed of the air coming out of the machine. In terms of performance, sound, they were more or less the same, 95, 6, 97 decibels. In terms of runtime, they were almost identical at around 30 minutes. So for an extra 100 Rand, I think it is well worthwhile upgrading and getting the one with the variable speed trigger. It's a little bit more money, you're getting the same type of tool, the same motor, all of that stuff. Obviously, if you have an application that doesn't require a variable speed trigger, then go ahead and get the lower end unit with just the on-off trigger. It will do the same job and will do the work, no problems at all. In terms of speed, again, very, very similar. 28, 29 meters per second, somewhere around there. So very, very similar tools, and I'd actually even think that there's potential that the motors inside are actually the same, and the only difference is that variable speed trigger and not necessarily anything else. So with my money, get the variable speed on the smaller unit. Now with the larger units, this is a little bit more tricky. In terms of sound, the one without the variable speed trigger was a lot quieter, 90 decibels, but the performance difference was quite extreme. This unit with the variable speed trigger was able to max out our speed tester, and we weren't able to get an accurate reading on exactly how fast the air was moving out of this machine. This machine, it came in at around 29 meters per second. To put it into perspective, our machine tops out at 40 meters per second. So significantly more power coming out of this particular unit. In terms of runtime, however, on maximum speed, this unit only lasted about 15 minutes, whereas the blower without a variable speed trigger was able to run for just about 30 minutes plus minus. So a lot more runtime with that. But you can adjust the speed on the variable speed trigger. So, you know, if you are looking for that runtime, you can reduce it to probably half, I don't know, half throttle or whatever. And you would see a much longer runtime, especially with a brushless motor, a lot more efficient. So if we were able to dial this in to have exactly the same speed as this unit here with the brushed unit and the non-variable speed trigger, I think we would have seen longer runtime out of this particular unit. But people don't buy a leaf blower like this to run it on half speed. So people will be running this thing on maximum speed, so it gives a more or less a decent indication. So in terms of a recommendation, if your application does not require the extra amount of power and you don't have an application that requires a variable speed, then the no-brainer is to save 1,000 Rand and to get the unit that has the brushed motor and the non-variable speed trigger. Now, it is nice to have a brushed motor. So 1,000 Rand extra, you do get a brush motor obviously and the variable speed, all of those good things. So if your application requires you to have variable speed and it requires you to use that power, and if it's something that you actually need, then I don't think it's a bad option going for this unit here. So there's always trade-offs with these things. The little ones are a lot more clear-cut. These larger ones, application dependent. So I hope I've helped you guys there with regards to the blowers. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're not done so already. It really, really does help us out. All of these machines are available online and in store. If you'd like to come through to our shop and see them, we'll have an address down below where you guys can come in and have a look, as well as links to online listings should you wish to make a purchase. With that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll catch you again next week for more exciting reviews. Thank you. Now it's time for our runtime test. Let's get going. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think we're going to need a second take.